All right, what's up, everyone, and welcome to the Todd Cast. As always, I'm your host, Todd Price. We are broadcasting live on the End Resultz Radio Network from the Perimeter Roofing Studios, inside Country Inn and Suites by Radisson over in beautiful Stone Mountain. So, for anybody that doesn't follow me, know of my clothing line, I'm all about no excuses, all results, kind of mindset, mentality, fuck your excuses, so to speak. So today I've got two people that I didn't think could get any better of a fit than the two guys I got with me today that are actually two very good friends of mine, two training partners. One is Matthias Maines with Warpath Barbell. The other one's Clayton Russell with Russell Personal Training. Guys, how you doing?
Doing good, Todd. Thanks.
Doing great.
So thanks for being here. So obviously y'all know my mindset, and I got you guys here for a reason. And I kind of want to talk a little bit because y'all have similar mindsets as me on a lot of different things. But Clayton, you start off. Tell everybody a little bit about your past, kind of what you do, where you came from, etc.
Yeah, so my name's Clayton Russell with Russell Personal Training. I grew up out here in this area in Georgia. Last 15 years, I've been a personal trainer. Just really all about trying to get the best out of my clients, the best out of myself, just kind of keep the bar high, associate with people who are of the same mindset. And yeah, that's about it.
And Matthias?
Yeah, I'm originally from Tennessee. I came down to Georgia in 2015. I started as a power lifter whenever I was first moving down this way to Georgia. And I'm now a bodybuilder with these guys, and that's how we've really gotten close. But I feel the same way as Todd, Clayton, and, it's a no excuse mindset. I think that's how we've all really gotten close with each other. Very similar way of thinking.
Absolutely. And Clayton and Matthias are obviously aware of this, but this past weekend I actually competed in Georgia State Championships, which is a bodybuilding competition. Clayton actually won Mr. Georgia back in 2018, and this was the first time I had done a show in about 16 years. So the prep and everything leading up to it and the mental kind of anguish and discipline, it kind of reopened my eyes and brought a new kind of even more motivation than I have even before then. So Clayton, I know you're very familiar with getting ready for a show and the discipline that it takes. How do you feel that kind of intertwines with your business, your personal life, etc.?
I mean, it's big time. I think you have to be able to, walk the walk if you talk the talk, especially in personal training. If you don't practice what you preach, it's no different than going to a bum under a bridge and trying to get financial advice from them. So
I like that.
Yeah. Other things, I every year diet, whether it's bulking or leaning out, and it kind of sounds funny, but it keeps you hungry. For instance, I've just gotten back to that point where, cheat meals you're just really hungry for. And I think a lot of people take that for granted. Like, we eat so much, we don't even know what it's really like to be hungry. Most people don't. But, it keeps you humble, keeps you hungry, keeps you motivated, disciplined. And I think the big thing is that can carry over and transfer into other areas of your life.
I 100% agree. And like I said, getting ready for this past show, it brought a whole new, just opened my eyes so much in a whole new realm of discipline. Even though I am extremely disciplined, but bringing that back in and getting up at 4 a.m. to do cardio and things of that nature, which is something Matthias is huge on. Matthias, you have War on Weakness. Tell everybody a little bit about that and kind of how that started and what that represents to you.
War on Weakness is my brand, and I started with that after my injury in 2017. I was at the Arnold Classic, and I was squatting and ruptured both quads, and it was a really impactful time for me. It was a difficult time for me, and it really opened my eyes to strength in general has a lot more to do with your mindset and your mentality than it does, physical. And War on Weakness to me, it's a battle every single day with just all of the things that you deal with in life, business, just any type of improvement. And honestly, I've grown so much since that time, and it was one of the best things that could have happened to me. And I really am thankful for that injury because it changed my mindset on everything. And War on Weakness to me, honestly, it looking at me and looking at you guys when you wear it, it comes across as a physical thing, but it's much more than that. And I think, we really represent that, with what you're talking about with your business and Clayton's business, and just caring for people and just improving any way that you can. That's what it's really about, is try to encapsulate all of that and just grow in every aspect of your life.
100%. And I think, I know everybody can't see Clayton and Matthias right now, but both of them are fucking jacked, and it's a little ridiculous. It makes me feel small. But Matthias, after this injury, there's actually pictures of him. What were you, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out after the injury?
I was injured early in March, and I was in the hospital for 5 days with surgery and everything like that. And 3 days later, I was back in the gym. So it was 8 total days from the time I ruptured my quads. And honestly, it was such a mental struggle for me because, you guys know it. It's something we do every day, more so for stress relief. And especially for me, with powerlifting, I had always viewed the gym as stress relief. And not having that outlet, it really hurt me for a long time.
And that was everything to you. That was your life.
And that opened my eyes to a lot because it shouldn't have been my life.
Yeah.
And that was something that really set me straight. And, you asked me about a quote, and I said, be humbled or you will be humbled. That's what happened to me in that moment. I remember before that squat, somebody said, "Hey, you don't really look like you're into it," And I was like, "Well, I'm trying to get to deadlift. I'm just trying to be through with this." And they were like, "Well, it's heavy." And I said, "Well, it's just 700 pounds." And then I ruptured my quads. I was sweaty. It slipped with me. I fell with it. But that was a perfect example right there. Wasn't being humbled, and God's like, "Hey, here you go. It's pretty heavy. I'm going to show you."
But if anybody doesn't follow Matthias on Instagram, his Instagram handles Warpath Barbell, and there's actually some pictures on there where 8 days after, he actually has both legs in solid straight cast restraints and is on a bench press, still benching 305 or 405 for reps.
I did 455 for a double with ruptured quads.
With ruptured quad. So literally no excuses, the mindset. And in my opinion, kind of, your war on weakness is similar to my fuck your excuses. There's just, there is no, wherever you come from in life. And I never ruptured both knees or I've had some injuries, but nothing that drastically changed my life of that extent. For me, it was being an addict and coming from nothing and being homeless. And I remember stealing hot dogs from QT and just to get by. And so for me, it was, if I can do this and turn my life around and put all that addiction from there into something else, then, you know, who am I? If I can do it, then anybody can fucking do it. And so that's what I try to push to motivate others. Clayton, did you have any sort of like, because you have the same mentality 100%, and it's all or nothing in everything that you do, and not only from a physical aspect or the energy that you put into something, but also the thought that you put into something. I would say that you analyze things even more than me and Matthias do. Is there something in your life? Yes, definitely, 100%. Is there something in your life that kind of changed you? Have you always been that way to where it was all or nothing, or?
Yeah, it's, I mean, I'm a big, both of y'all know it. I'm big on observing human behavior. I'm big on the subconscious mind. For me, it's really easy to see growing up on Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, G.I. Joe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that my body was just a manifestation of when I was a kid. That's what I saw. That's what a real man looked like. That's what I was going to be. I was always the smallest guy in my grade, from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Middle school, everybody hit growth spurts but me, and it left me way behind. I went into high school like 4'11", 90 pounds. Like, that's not exaggerating. That's really my measurements were. Graduated high school 123 pounds. I remember being at, it was Australian Body Works, LA Fitness bought it. Did a questionnaire. They said, what would your goal body weight be? They weighed us. I weighed 123 pounds. I said, man, I told my friend who was signing up with me, I said, if I could be 155 pounds, I'll get rid of every shirt I own. I'll never wear a shirt again. And, but yeah, so, since 2005, the only time I've missed a workout or a week of working out, it's been structured in to my program. And it just, is a testament to what consistency is. And, I mean, man, you can, I could go philosophical with it in so many ways, but you can tell so much about a person by their work ethic, by their discipline. I've been around enough people in life, great role models, both of y'all included, that I definitely want to be able to sit at the table with the 10% and the 1% who, regardless, they want to give it their all. If you go to the Bible, there's a theme throughout it that a tithe of the people, a tithe of the people, a tithe of the people. There's going to be 10% that always give their best, that always give the most sacrifice, all that. Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher in general, he said that if 100 men go into battle, 90 of them are just targets. They're not even supposed to be there. 10 of them are the actual soldiers, and one of them is the real leader. I just want to be able to sit at the table with that 10% and know that I belong with them. And that's just kind of been my mindset. So it's not weird to me to find myself, in fellowship with guys like y'all.
Absolutely. So it's kind of like if you're goes back to the saying, if you're the strongest person in the room or you're the hardest worker in the room, you're in the wrong room type of deal. So let me ask you this, because you said that since 2005, you haven't missed a workout. You haven't, unless obviously it's been structured. I know Matthias is the same way. obviously with the exception of his injury for 8 days. Are you motivated to go work out every single fucking workout, or is it discipline?
You want to answer that?
I mean, I would say absolutely not. You're never always motivated, but there's certain things you have to do. And all of us sitting here have a family. It's the same thing. You know, I'm not always motivated to go to work, but I can't lay in bed all day. And there's things like that in life where, you know, you can't just focus on the end goal. There's things that have to be done every single day to get you there. And it's the process.
And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I see across the board, both in, I call it reality, both in the real world and on social media, Instagram, Facebook, et cetera, is everybody wants to get motivated. And yeah, I get motivated here and there, but I don't wake up motivated at 4:00 every fucking morning to go do cardio. I don't leave work every day motivated to go work out. Yesterday I was motivated, super fucking motivated to come work out with y'all and film it and have fun. And but I want people to understand, and one thing that I want them to take away from this podcast and future episodes as well is that it's not something that comes natural. It's to anybody, no matter what level of athlete, what level of business, what level of success. It's something that you have to work on consistently, day in, day out. And, you know, one thing for me, and I don't remember, I know both you guys listen to Jocko and to David Goggins as well, and I can't remember who said it, but it really helped me. But normally I wake up before my alarm goes off. If I don't wake up before my alarm goes off and I want to hit that snooze button or I want to stay in bed, I count to 5. And I think it might have been David Goggins. But I count to 5, and at 5 I'm up. Yeah. And I don't give myself an option. And the reason being, and it makes so much sense, is as soon as you hit that snooze button, you're starting with failure. You're starting your day off on the wrong foot. And I feel like so many people do that and then don't make their bed and then don't get their cardio in. I've done cardio 4 days this week, missing one day isn't going to hurt. And it's just one excuse leads to another. So I feel like discipline is so important for not only to teach our children, to teach the future, but also for adults. And I feel like that's where so many people lack in all aspects of life, not only in the gym, obviously in the gym, but also in business that I see across the board. As far as discipline goes for you, Clayton, is that something that you think is way more important than motivation as well?
Oh, man. Kind of hitting on what y'all said, and even back to Matthias's injury. In the book of Proverbs, Solomon said, where there is no vision, the people perish. And most people are going through life, they don't have a vision for who they are, who they want to be, where they want to be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. And so when you create that vision, you have a reason to get up before that 5 a.m. or whatever. And kind of hitting on that same thing, I mean, I really thought about this one night, and it like hit me to my core. But it also gave me peace with the answer I came up with. But with Matthias, when an injury like that happens, and like you have a belt that says what? Don't tell me. It says oh my God, the doctors told you it. What's on your belt?
Unreasonable.
Unreasonable. Because they said your weightlifting days are over. You're not going to do that anymore. And he's like, I will. And they're like, you're being totally unreasonable. But I mean, if you think about it, you have this identity as, the best roofing company or the strong weightlifter or whatever. And then one day it's just taken away from you.
Real quick for a shameless plug, who is the best roofing company?
Perimeter.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that being part of your identity's taken away from you. Like that's a huge punch in the solar plexus. But yeah, identity, and kind of also what he was saying is, everybody looks, and we were talking about this last night, but everybody looks at the end goal, the muscles, the money, the cars, and they don't see all the work going in behind the scenes. And like, when I was younger, if I could look at the way I look now, I would be like, oh my God, just sign me up. Let's get started. But the real blessing is the work, the process, every rep, everything that goes, because realistically, I could leave here right now, pull out in front of a car and be paralyzed the rest of my life. And the discipline that I've learned from like pushing myself through squats, deadlifts, dieting, cardio, that stuff goes into other areas of life.
100%. And, to touch on that, I think that's huge, because both in business and both in fitness and in anything that you do, like with me building clothing company or building the roofing company, and the things that I've learned that can transpose from one industry or one business to the next. And then same thing with the competition. Like I said, this is the first one I've done in a long time. I know you guys have both competed way more recently than I have, but I qualified for nationals. I didn't win the overall show, but I had a blast. But the biggest thing for me was the structure and the knowing that I have to do this, and the pain that you put yourself through to get to the other side of what you want, and knowing that if I can do that, and I can suffer that much when nobody else can, 99.9% of the population can't do that, then I can fucking do anything. Mm-hmm. And so that to me was worth more than any belt or any trophy or anything like that. And I take pride in knowing that I competed and I brought my best to the game, just like I do in business and just like I do in everything else. I know we're running out of time. In closing, Clayton, anything you'd like to leave the people with? Any words of advice, words of wisdom? I know you're one that is very deep, so I'm letting you go first, because it could be 30 seconds or 30 minutes. So we're about to find out.
I'll be brief. One of the blessings with being a personal trainer, and the last 10 years I've been fortunate to train highly successful people, and even being around you guys, I was able to learn from these clients. And the main thing that I got is it's all in your subconscious. It's all, in your daily habits. Going back to Proverbs, Solomon said, ponder the path of your feet and let all your ways be established. So think about who you want to be. Like, be as wild as you want to be with. I mean, I'm 5'7". Obviously, I'm never going to be like 6'6" like Michael Jordan. But whatever you want to be, write it down, envision it, and look at that every day on a daily basis, preferably first thing in the morning, and just, visualize that and work towards it. And when you get, instinct, intuition, opportunities that come, capitalize on it, take action. That's a big part, is executing. But that's the main thing. That's why we're all sitting here, because we've had a vision, and our vision brought our paths together. And that's, the average human being has no idea how powerful our minds are. Mm-hmm. And that's what I would say is just, write down who you want to be, your financial goals, your relationship goals, your physical goals, all that.
And, you spoke on execution. One thing that I always say is, the memes are easy. The execution is the hard part. I see a lot of people posting this stuff on Instagram and Facebook and things of that nature. So I never want people to get discouraged from things that they see and think that, all these people are living this magical life like Dan Brazilian that's just a scam. But everybody's got issues, everybody's got hardships, but like you said, writing things down and having that mentality, your mind has to show up in that place of where you want to be or whatever that goal may be before you can actually show up there. So I think that's huge. Matthias, what about you?
I'm just going to go off of what Clayton was just saying, what you just said about vision. Like I said this morning, vision without action is a daydream, and action without vision is a nightmare. You have to have both. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. And that's the real thing that has to happen. You got to envision something, and then you have to move. You can't just sit and talk to people all day about what you plan on doing, what you're going to do. You may not get it right the first time. You may get injured. You may have something bad happen, but you just get right back up, new vision, take action, and you have to keep doing that over and over again.
And push forward.
Yeah. A lot of people, something that bothers me about Instagram, and I mean, it is fake, it's a fictional world where you're seeing a highlight reel. It allows people to talk about what they're going to do or make an announcement about the next thing they're going to do, or they can go stand in the middle of a mansion that's not theirs and you wouldn't even know the difference, and say, this is going to be mine, but they're not really doing anything.
Correct.
And what you're doing outside of Instagram, that's the real deal.
Yeah, the work in the dark, so to speak, behind the scenes, which I think is huge. And I think, one of the main reasons why I thought you two guys were perfect to have on and kind of kick this show off is because a lot of, even though you're both very successful in business, you're both very successful in the fitness industry as well, not only on social media, but in real life. And a lot of that is not seen on social media. A lot of what you do, your workouts, your cardio, your nutrition, is what's done behind the scenes when nobody else is looking. And I think that transpires so much into all other aspects of life. It's what you're doing when you get off work and what you're doing from 8 to midnight to 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning to take your hobby to another profession or to a dream that you want to come true. So I think that's huge. So I want to thank both of you guys for coming to today. I really appreciate it. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. As for everybody tuning in, thanks for tuning in to the Todd Cast show, broadcast on End Resultz Radio Network from the Perimeter Roofing Studios inside Country Inn and Suites by Radisson and Stone Mountain. Please stay tuned for upcoming shows. Or to hear past shows, visit endresultz.com or anywhere you get your podcast. Until next time, this has been another episode of the Todd Cast. Signing off, this is Todd Price, and we will talk to you soon.